Because you didn't have a chance to ask questions from the morning session, and if you have any questions, first we'll discuss that, and then I'll give you the final bit of instructions. But some of you were asking what to do when you go back and how to maintain and all that. So before I come to that, we'll discuss if there's any questions. Anyone has any questions? Yes.
When we practice Indriya Samvara, are we trying to stop good and bad thoughts or just the bad?
But what did you mean by good and bad?
Say, for example, if we see something and we think maybe this one is that's unintentional, that's good, that's
Mm-hmm.
should we stop those sorts of thoughts, guard against those, or just unwholesome thoughts about
Unwholesome thoughts. Because I thought maybe you were saying good as, what if, if you interpret something as nice and good like that, but that will still arouse karma chanda. So that's how I wanted to check. Yes, unwholesome thoughts.
not about stopping all things?
Not really. We do Sangvara so it will prevent the unarisen, unwholesome thoughts arising. When you don't practice the Sangvara, when you meditate, you can keep doing the Prahana part, where you, every thought that comes to your mind, the unwholesome thought, you keep removing them. But if you are not guarding your senses, then there's no ending to this cleaning, because you have left your doors and windows wide open for the unwholesome, unarisen ones to come in. So it's very important to guard your senses. It's like before you start cleaning this room, it's like you closing the doors and the windows, because now you understand it's from them that the dirt is coming inside. Yeah? So it's to prevent the unwholesome thoughts arising. So it's good when you leave, it's good to actually have a wholesome thought in your mind like a mantra, working like a mantra. Either it's about the metta, may all beings be well and happy all the time going on, or life is uncertain but death is certain, life is uncertain, death is certain, something like that, or about the Buddha, with the Buddha image and you chanting the qualities of the Buddha. Maybe Itibiso, Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijjacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisadhamma Sarati Sattha Deva Manusana Buddho Bhagavati. Like that you can keep chanting that one, thinking of the good qualities of the Buddha, having the Buddha image in your mind. So what it does then, it prevents all these unarisen, unwholesome thoughts coming up. Yeah? And also then you can check when you are not mindful, you are not with that object, whatever that you were doing. You go on into your past or the future, or you are thinking about something, so very quickly you can bring it back because you have a reference point. Or it can be your breath, but not at the beginning, because very easily you can get distracted. But if you are a good practitioner, you've been practicing and your mind is mature enough, then easily you can anchor your awareness on your breath all the time. And you can actually detect, you can see how even a single thought has an effect on your breath, what it does to your breath. But it's not very safe for the beginners because very difficult for you all to come back if you go on with your past or with the future. It's very difficult to bring back because you're passively just watching it. Very easily the negative things can come. Yes. People with limited time. Why don't you use the mic? My ear is kind of dying. Our senses also, they face the jati, jara, vyadi, marana. You can sit where you are and if you want, you can use the mic. Yeah.
My question is for people who have limited free time to practice.
So that means you're saying those people don't have 24 hours, is it?
Whatever, but having working daughters, I know how long they spend in the office working and so on. So they have to choose, like, to go and listen to Dharma, or to read Dharma, or spend more time sitting to meditate. So Bhante, can you give us some advice on this?
Okay. But anyway, if you have understood the Dhamma, the danger in the gratifying the sensual pleasures or engaging with the sensual pleasures, then I guess I don't have to tell you how to spend your time, because you all know what you all should be avoiding, what you all should be doing, isn't it? But if you all have to go to work, yes, you have to balance that. But during the work also, you can maintain a pure mind. Make sure your mind doesn't get polluted. Whatever you do, whatever work you have to do, you can do it with metta. May this work that I do help people to feel happy, be peaceful, like that. You can turn around the situations and then practice metta while you're working also. But it's important that after you go back, if you all really want to seriously practice, then to put some time aside for the practice. But that urge will only come if you see the importance of this side, importance of this practice. See, you know how important it's for you to eat, to go and have a shower, and all that kind of things, yeah? So no one have to come and tell you, right? Go and have a shower, go and eat. When you were a child, someone had to, because you didn't understand the importance of those actions. So your mom and dad was behind you all the time. But after you become an adult, no one is behind your back and telling you to do this and do that, all the important things. You do it by yourself, because now you understand it's important. Yes? If you understand that something is important, you will find time. That's what it comes down to. Because we haven't seen the importance, that's why we haven't paid much attention. That's why we haven't allocated any time. If you find, or if you think going to the gym is very important, it affects your health and you want to improve your health and you want to do exercises, you find time. 1 or 2 hours to go to gym, you find time. Am I correct or not? Yes, so it's like that. If you have understood the Dhamma, then I don't think I have to really tell you to put some time aside, you will. Even if your wife nags you, husband nags you, children nags you, say, come on, come and spend time with us, or watch the TV, and come and enjoy, talking with us, blah, blah, blah. You will know what to say then. So if you are actually serious about this practice, so you all must know to put some time aside. So this is only a guideline as to how you can kind of manage your time, but you yourselves have to have that wanting, that you want to practice, and that you are happy and you're willing to put some time aside. And you may not have time during the daytime, like you said, because you go to work and all that. The best time you can find to practice is wake up early in the morning at 4 o'clock. All the Buddhas, the people who are on this path, normally they have the habit of waking up early. I've been waking up at 4 maybe since I was 10, 11, 12 there. That's when I started practicing. But because I was small, my teacher had to tell me that I must practice every day. So I had to leave home about 6 to go to my school. So the school one comes at 6 to home, and 5 o'clock my mom wakes up and then get ready, eat, and then go. So when I started meditating when I was 10, I had to find time. So I had to get into the habit of waking up at 4 o'clock to meditate until 5. Sorry? Okay, we'll answer that question later. First, let me answer this, yes, before we get sidetracked. Yes? Take it to the audience so you all can pass the mic when someone wants to speak.
Bhante, my question was what to prioritize. The fact that we should find time to practice, we already know. But just say from my own personal experience, I used to go here and there listening to Dharma talks, Dharma courses and all that. Then one day I said, hey, what's the point of listening, and I don't even do anything very seriously about the practice, So I like to read, but then of course I know I should do meditation. That's my question more, in the sense that which is more important? If you can't do both equally, both are important, but which one should we pay more attention to? To really practice the meditation, to read all the suttas.
Okay. So it's good you also found the answer in your question too, which you said you find both is important. So anyway, you will find when you start to practice in the right track, you will find that you practice, and then sometimes there will be some questions that's coming in, how to handle this, how to handle that, what to do next. So then if the answers are not coming within, then you check the sutras and see what Buddha says, or you go to a teacher. This is why it's so nice to practice with a teacher, because when you have a teacher, when you go and tell them what you're going through, if they have walked that path before you, then they can tell you actually what's happening and put you back in the track and tell you how to solve your problem. But if you can't find a teacher in a physical body, then the best thing is to go to the suttas and do it. So it's very important that you do study the suttas also and continue with your practice. So practice has to be continuous every day. Every day you must make an effort, put 1 or 2 hours aside. So if you wake up at 4 o'clock, you shouldn't have any problems. You will have time from 4 to 5 or whatever. And I was going to suggest anyway, if you are serious about the practice, do your yoga exercises every morning. Do it every morning continuously. You will see the benefits. And then you can start with the Buddha Vandana, paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. You have the chanting books with you now. You can choose, what's important, what inspires you. Do that. And then you settle in to do your practice. And there's 5 types of meditations. You should do the 4 protective meditations and the Anapanasati. The recollection on the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and then Asubhanusati, reflecting on the impurities of the body, and then the Marananusati, reflecting on the death, and Mettanusati, the loving kindness meditation, and then the Anapanasati. So like that, you must be working in an orderly manner and practicing every day. And maybe you want to join the Sutra class. There's Bhante Punyaji Sutra class is on Monday nights here. Every Monday night we have a Sutra class here, 8 o'clock? 8 to 10 o'clock. So once a week at least you are hearing a Sutra, listening to the Dhamma. And also you can find the CDs. Bhante Punyaji CDs are here, they are available. And I also try to put them through my website, nisalarana.lk. And I'm trying to put all his books in there and all the CDs in there. So anyone who wants to find his old teachings should be able to find through that website. So I'm working on that. But Vihara, a lot of the times they have the current CDs, not the old ones, because when they run out, they run out. But the current ones, whatever they have printed, is normally you can find it in the Vihara. So you all can actually start listening to the Dhamma. What I did when I was a lay person, a lot of the time when I drive, I actually listen to the Dhamma talks. Because that's where we tend to spend most of the time nowadays, driving. So it's not listening to the radio or songs, but you listen to the Dhamma while you're driving. And when you are at home also, you can listen to the Dhamma if you actually cut off your time watching the TV. And that's something you all must know. If you really want to progress in this path, watching the TV, looking at newspapers, listening to the radio, will not help this path. That only arouse your emotions. And I'm sure you may have understood by now. So it's good to cut down the time on them. And then you sit and relax and listen to Dhamma talk. You have time to do that. So it's important that you do your own practice, and if you have seen the Dhamma and you're practicing, then the answers will come within. But if you are not stable in the Dhamma, then of course you do need to get help from a Kalyana Mitta or from the suttas, from a book. You do have to get help. So you do need to have basic knowledge of the Dhamma. So if you can't come here for the Sutta class, at least you should put some time aside on your weekends, Saturday or Sunday. You put some time aside that you will go through the Sutta books and read and make notes. If you find something important, make notes. Then when you want to know about something, you can go back to your notes, because you have extracted the important points. So you must find time. I wonder why these days all these people are so busy. How come in 24 hours you are saying you all don't have time? Maybe you work 8 hours, still 20 something is left. Huh?
Traffic jam will take you many hours.
There you go. Then that's the best time you listen to the Dhamma talks. That's the best time when you're driving, you spend more hours. Well, listen to Dhamma talks. Have CDs or MP3s and listen to the Dhamma talks. So you can make use of that time. Can? Because it's a Dhamma that will inspire you. It's a Dhamma that keeps you on the track. Because meditation, after you go from the retreat, slowly again you will the interest will die down, you will slack off. Slowly you slack off your practice. The self-discipline starts to get affected and you become a bit relaxed and it's okay, if I break just a precept, it's okay, like that. The emotions will catch up. So it's a Dhamma that will keep you inspiring and will keep you on the track. And very important as a layperson to keep your precepts. To keep to your 5 precepts. If possible, the 8. If that's not possible, the 5. Very important, because if you don't keep the precepts, when you sit for the meditations, you will have a very busy mind and thinking and a lot of regrets and this and that. That's not going to help you progress in your path. Very important to look after your sila. So you focus on your sila, and every morning after you actually pay respects to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and then you meditate, and you can take the 5 precepts, means remind yourselves, this is how I'm going to spend my day today. I'm going to keep them, I'm not going to give in to my emotions. I'm going to use my rational thinking mind. And you affirm it to yourselves. And you spend the day. And after you actually finish your practice in the morning, you must also share your merits with your departed relatives and devas and all beings, not particularly thinking of any personally, not thinking of this one and that one, but together with all the departed relatives and friends and with devas and all beings. Share the merits. Then you wish everyone, may they be well, happy and be peaceful, and you can start the day with that thought. Yeah? And also make it a habit that before you go to bed at night, you recheck on your day. What actually happened? Did I manage to keep my 5 precepts? Did I manage to keep to my whatever the determination that you were making in the morning, that I will not get angry or I will not break my precepts, or whatever that you were programming your mind in the morning, just check by the evening whether you have kept on to them. And at night also, then you have developed metta, and with the mind with that loving kindness, you go to sleep. But before you go to sleep, you must also program your mind to wake up. What time you are going to wake up? 4 o'clock. You say that, I will wake up at 4, I will wake up at 4, I will wake up at 4, like that 3 times. And then you go to sleep with loving kind thoughts in your mind. And then you will be surprised that you will be up at that time, even before the alarm goes. You can program your mind. So you will wake up fresh, then you meditate, you start your day. This is how you can progress. So if you detect anything that during the daytime that didn't go right, or things have gone wrong, or you didn't stick to what you were thinking of doing, then check whether there's any room for improvement, whether you can find that mistake and if there's any chance to correct it, if any apology is needed, or you have to say sorry to someone, or you can reverse your mistake, try to do that if you can fix it. If not, then you can forgive yourself and the others and then move forward. Must learn to forgive. To the others, also to you. Don't hold on to things because you couldn't meet with that. Don't hold on, I'm no good, I'm not this and like that. Don't do it. Just be very gentle with yourself at the same time when you try to discipline yourself. Be firm, but if you couldn't really keep up with that, then don't try to beat over yourself. Be gentle and realize that you are still not an arahat. You can do mistakes and you forgive yourself, and try not to repeat the same mistake later. So you make a wish that you will not repeat it, but then move forward. These things are very important to know in your life, because otherwise you can generate ill will very easily. When you are practicing, some people become very tough and hard and they started beating themselves, and that's not going to help you all in your practice. You have to have loving kindness to the others and to you. You have to be able to forgive others and you also. And in the morning, another thing is, before you start your day, after you practice and all that, you can always think about your ultimate goal, the freedom from all suffering, the Nibbana. So you're working towards that. So remind that every day, every morning. And then you will realize one day, actually, so that's my goal. I'm walking towards that. And whatever the other things that I do, actually I'm doing it to support myself to get there, because that's my goal. I want to get enlightened. So everything else becomes secondary then. So keep reminding yourselves your goal, where you're going, what you're doing. And also when you're on this path, again, like in the Mangala Sutta, Buddha says to look into your company. Who are you associating with? Because if you're associating the unwise, the foolish and the immoral, unethical people who are doing those kind of things, then you're going to get influenced by that. And then if you even do a mistake, you won't really see it as a big mistake, because you think, oh, the others are doing it, so I'm also okay, it's okay, like that. But if you're associating with the virtuous and the wise, even if you do a slightest mistake, you will see that fault, because you will see the others actually not doing or not engaging in such kind of acts, and very easily you detect this as a fault, and you will aspire to not to do it again. Yeah? Well, then better to be alone. That's what Buddha says. Because otherwise, you know what happens. Now, the Mangala Sutta is about how to find the real peace and happiness. There was this argument. Let me tell you the background, then you will understand. The people on earth, they had an argument about what brings them the most happiness and peace. Good luck means that. Blessings or good luck means what brings you happiness and peace, isn't it? When you break it down, when you ask for a blessing or good luck means what brings you happiness and peace. So some people believed it's when you start to do something, and before you do it, if you see a good sign, like if slight rain comes down, or you see a beautiful flower, or you see someone coming with a glass of water in their hand, or you hear a nice voice or something good, or you smell nice smell, or you get to drink milk or something, or things like that. A lot of people started arguing that it's that's going to bring the blessings for them. And I think until today you believe those things. Sometimes before you do something, if a dog barks or a gecko on the wall, make a noise, some people, oh, that's very unlucky. We should not do, it's very unlucky, it brings bad luck, like that. And you believe in certain things about what brings you good luck and bad luck. Am I correct? Yes, okay. So then people were very confused. They couldn't come to an answer what brings good luck, because some people say it's through this eye door, that whatever you see a good sign, that brings you happiness. And the others said no, if you hear a good voice or if you hear something good, then that's blessings. So like this, people had a big argument, because they were arguing on 5 senses. One was saying no, what you see is the best thing that brings good luck. The other son says no, through the ears. If you hear a noise, a good one, that's what going to bring. And the others said no, it's through the nose. If you smell nice smells, that's what's going to bring good luck. Like that, they started arguing. So they couldn't come to a answer. So this argument even went to the heavenly realm. Then the devas started arguing. Actually, what brings the real good luck? What brings the real blessings? And they couldn't come up with an answer. And then one of the wise devas, they said, well, the Buddha is on earth. You go and ask him. When someone is there who knows everything, why you are wasting time? Let's go and ask Buddha. So a deva actually came down to earth where Buddha was, and that's what it says, that Deva's radiance actually brightened the whole monastery. You read that, yeah, in English? And then he came and sat down to the side, and he said, Venerable Sir, that we had this argument, could you please tell us, to the benefit of human and to the devas, what brings the real good luck? So Buddha didn't say, made any comment about what they were talking. He didn't say you foolish people or anything, but he started telling what brings real blessings or what brings the real good luck. So you also have to look at it the other side as well. When Buddha says this will bring you good luck, so if you are doing the opposite of it, you must understand what comes on your way also. Yeah, if you do that, it will bring you good luck. If you are not doing it, or if you are doing the opposite, you must infer what will come on your way. So Buddha is saying now, the first thing he said is asevanata balana. Don't associate with the bala. Bala means asatpurushas, mean the people who don't know the good or the bad, the right or the wrong, and they do all kinds of immoral things, unethical things, and they don't see the karma vipaka, they don't think about others' happiness or peace or anything. They are very self-centered people. So Buddha says, don't associate with those kind of people. So if you are already associating with them and you continue to associate, know what's coming on your way. Now what will come? What is already coming on your way? Suffering and unhappiness. More you associate with these people, you don't know what's happening to you. It's the unhappiness and suffering. In other words, it's a bad luck that's coming on your way. So avoid them first. At all costs, avoid associating with the balayas or the asatpurushas, the foolish people. So when you let go of that type of people in your community or in your circle of the associations, then Buddha says, Panditanam cha sevana. Okay, you associate with the Panditas. Pandita means the wise and the virtuous. who knows the good and bad, the right and the wrong, and they choose to do the right thing and the good things. They live an immoral and ethical way of living. They live like that, and they think about the others. They live a non-violent life. They appreciate happiness, peace, and all those kind of things, and they think about the others, and they are the ones who act actually selflessly. And so when you associate with them, it brings good luck. It brings happiness and peace to you. So if you don't associate with them, even if you don't have them, then kind of a happiness and peace or some good luck that was going to come on your way is not coming. It's being blocked. Yeah? If you had a Kalyana Mitta, if you had a Pandita to associate with, it's a blessing. It will bring happiness and peace to your life. And then Buddha goes on to say the next one is called Pujacha Pujaniyana. What does that mean? Learn to honor, to pay respect to the people who are worthy of it. So it's helping you to humble yourselves. And then when you see them as worthy, you place them up high, and then you look up to them. If you don't do that, you will never learn anything. If you think, I'm the one, I know it all, then you will not be able to learn. So it's something that you must learn. It's a quality that should come within, that the ability to recognize the worth or the value in someone, and when you see they are worthy, they are very what do you call, not valuable, but as a person you see the value in them. You place them up high and you honor them, you respect them. So naturally it will move you all to follow their guidance, follow their footpath, and it will humble you. So then Buddha says, Etam Mangala Muttamam, these are the highest blessings that one can gain. This is how the normal person's journey begins. And then Buddha guides, learning like that. There's 32 points there, and at the end, towards the end, so then he teaches how to equip yourself with the knowledge and practicing selflessness, practicing patience, being humble, and being able to look after and support, and being able to do your duties properly, and then learning to share what you have, and also earning your living in a very righteous way, like that. And then comes to the point where Buddha talks about seeing the Shramana, seeing the Sangha. It's a blessing. Hearing to Dhamma, it's a blessing. And then after that, after you have learned the Dhamma, you must find the right time to have the discussions, to clarify your questions, the uncertain things. So you must talk. So Dhamma Sakaccha, that brings blessings. So like that with the teachers. And then towards the end Buddha says, Tapocha Brahmacharyancha. Renouncing is the highest blessing. After you have learned all these things, equipped yourself, and you have done your duties to your family, the social side and everything. Now you learn the Dhamma, you have discussed the Dhamma, and then Buddha says, Tapocha Brahmacharyancha, living a pure life, a renounced life is highest form of a blessing. Then Arya Satchani Dassana, seeing these four noble truths, understanding the noble truths is one of the highest blessings. Then Buddha says, Nibbana Satchikiriyacha, attaining Nibbana is the form of the highest blessing. That's the last one. So Buddha is actually giving the map. From where you are, you can map yourself where you are. And then how to improve. What are the qualities you have to develop? What are the things you should avoid? What are the things you should develop? And then he brings you to come up to this Nibbana. It was given to lay people, this discourse. So you can check where you are, and you can see even the drinking. Buddha didn't advise first to give up drinking. You know, people who are into alcohol and all that, it's not the first one that he says. After some time only, Majjapana Sammu, that Buddha says giving up taking this alcohol is a blessing. Because now you're mature enough to see it as a fault, see it as something that's obstructing your path, then you give up. You want me to go through the points? Can I have a book for the second? Yeah. So he's telling the first point is that not to follow or associate with the fools, associate with the wise, and honor those who are worthy of honor. To reside in a suitable locality, you can imagine that too. If you are in the wrong place, wrong time, my goodness, forget about the practice. So this is why sometimes, you know, when people are going to buy homes, they look for the neighbors, you know, they look around, they try to find out about how the neighbors are, how the people in that village and all that before they go and settle in there. Because that has a big effect on you.
In the town, fire places, after 2 years, they become monks.
But at least, you know, when you are looking for it and when you find a good place, then settle there, and hopefully then when you practice, if you develop your mind, these things really doesn't really matter. But for a beginner, these things matters. Because you are still in the range where others can influence you a lot. You are still susceptible to the environment you are in. But to a person who has developed the mind, it doesn't matter. But for a beginner, it matters. So try to find a suitable place to live, and also to have done meritorious actions in the past. It's a blessing. Of course, now whatever you are, a lot of the things that you are experiencing now, it's due to your past good karma. So you have a good balance there, balance of good karma. So in other words, you must make sure that you have you accumulate good karma here and now also. For the present moment, for the future, you must continue to accumulate good karma, because that has an effect on you. And to have set oneself on the right course. This is where now Buddha is saying, like, you know, when the ship is starting to sail, you must have a goal, you must have a destination in mind. Then only you start to sail in that direction. Now you were just preparing yourself. Now the next point is Atta Samma Panidicca, means having set that goal towards the right course to move forward. Here they are saying it, to have set oneself on the right course towards emancipation, that is a supreme blessing. So now you know where you are heading. And then Buddha says, vast learning, perfecting the handicraft or whatever that you all have to learn to kind of live comfortably, fix things in a way, you know, if things go wrong, you should be able to know how to sew your garment or your robe or whatever, to be able to put a nail on the wall or whatever, those things that you really have to have the knowledge of when you live, to make your life, you know, easy, to get things done. So those basic things. So Buddha says that's good to have those knowledges. Highly trained discipline. Now Buddha is talking about the self-discipline. Vinayoti susikkito means having a highly trained discipline and pleasant speech. That's a supreme blessing. Then Buddha says the support of father and mother. Support them, do your duties, and look after your wife and your children. Fulfill your duties, and then find your living to support these people and to support you in an anakula way. Anakula means in a peaceful way, in a harmonious way, and in a way that it will not hurt or harm or damage anyone else. Sitting or standing on non-violence, thinking about others, you're finding a living to support people who are under you, that who needs care and all that, and then to support yourself. And Buddha says this is a supreme blessing that will bring happiness and peace to you. Then Buddha says, Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha, liberality, righteous conduct, the ability to give others, to share what you have, and living in accordance with the Dhamma. And Nyatakanancha Sanyamo means helping the relatives, it's correct here. Helping your relatives, giving them a hand, and then the blameless actions. What you do must be blameless, anavajjani. It shouldn't hurt or harm or damage anyone. And these will bring blessings to you. And then Buddha goes on to say, Arati Virati Papa means to cease and abstain from evil. Now he is getting into the kind of the deeper end. He says to cease and abstain from evil and forbearance with respect to intoxicants. Because you cannot really abstain from doing evil if you are not going to practice mindfulness, or if you are not going to keep your mindfulness, if you are going to do things that will lead you to be negligent, to be heedless, then very difficult to choose what to do, what not to do. So now you must pay attention to what you are doing, and you must pay more attention now to not, while you are living, not to create akusala karma, not to do evil. Put it aside now. Try to train yourselves more to avoid that evil karma or the evil things, and try to get into the good side, the kusala side. This is how even that stanza starts. Sabba papassa akaranam kusala supasampada. First you must avoid the akusala, the papa, the evil. Abstain from them first. Then you can enter into the other side. While you keep doing the evil things and negative things, very difficult for you to be a pure person. So you must first abstain from evil, and then you also start to protect your mind, guard your mindfulness, and then steadfastness in virtue. Practicing that brings supreme blessing. Appamada means not being late or not delaying it or not being heedless, but you practicing your virtue constantly, continuously, from here and now. Then Buddha says these are the qualities that one must practice that will bring blessings to you. What are they? Reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude. And then comes the Kalena Dhamma Savana. That means hearing to the Dhamma. When the right time is there, you listen to the Dhamma. And that is a supreme blessing. Then Buddha says again, now you have started to listen to the Dhamma, and now your qualities must be refined and you must practice the difficult ones. What are they? The patience, obedience. You must start cultivating and practicing. And you can see they are not easy ones. They take real training. So Buddha says, practice that. That will bring happiness to you. And then Samananancha Dasanam means sight of the samanas. Often if you can see them, associate with them. Sight of the samanas means associate with them. more and more and more now. That will bring blessings to you. How? Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha. When you associate with these samanas, there's no empty talk going on. What's going to happen is you will discuss the Dhamma. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha means discussions on the Dhamma. Because you're associating with the right people now, more often. That will bring blessings. Then, now you're associating with the people, the renunciants, and who are walking on this path. What happens? It will have an effect on your mind. Because you're looking up to them, you're always associating, and there's this thing working behind your back of the mind. I wish I also want to be like that. And then the next step will be you realizing actually that's the best way to live. So Buddha says, Tapocha Brahmacharyancha, self-control, pure life, means the life of renunciant. That's a way of living that will bring many blessings. That will bring a lot of happiness and peace. So now we are slowly bending towards the renunciation. And then Buddha says, Arya Satchana Dasanam, the perception of the noble truths, the Four Noble Truths, understanding the Four Noble Truths. And then Buddha says Nibbana Satchikiryancha, and the realization of Nibbana. You can see how Buddha didn't ask at the first for you all to drop everything and renounce and do this. He was guiding you all slowly. And after you have developed those inner qualities and you have learnt enough Dhamma and you have understood the Dhamma, now Tapocha Brahmacharyancha. He's kind of telling you all that renounced life brings lot of happiness and peace. Compared to the ones we said before, this brings much more happiness. And then seeing the noble truths brings higher happiness or much more blessings. And attaining Nibbana is the highest blessing one can gain in one's life. Nibbana Paraman Sukham, the highest thing that one can gain. So it's that. And then what Buddha explains is the explanation of Nibbana, how the state of the mind. Puttasa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati asokang virajang khemang etam mangalamuttama. So someone who had attained the Nibbana or managed to free themselves from all emotions and all the defilements, their mind will not shake in the midst of any vicissitude in life that you have to face. Normally, when people face, they have to face this. This is another reality that we face. They are called 8 vicissitudes of life. What are they? Sadness and happiness and gain and loss, fame and ill fame, praise and blame. You have to face all this. You got no control over. It comes to you. So for normal people, when the good side, the desirable side, the happiness, the praise, the gain, the fame, when those things are happening to you, you are very happy and high and elated. But when someone just blame you, when you lose something, when you become, there's ill fame on you, and then when you become unhappy, then the graph comes like this. Your mood comes right down. You don't know what to do. Then again, when things goes the way you would like, it goes up. And it's like that. This whole life is like a roller coaster. You all react. But someone who have attained, who have eradicated all the defilements, puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati, their chitta will not shake anymore. Kampati means shaking. Chittang yassana kampati means no shaking. Your chitta will not shake anymore. Asokang virajang kemang. Normally, people's minds are full of shoka, the sadness. Virajang, rajang means lot of attachments, lot of desires and attachments. So Virajang means there's no desires, no attachments. Asokang, Virajang, Kema. In normal people's minds, there's so much of fear, lot of fear. Kemang means no fear. So they live with such a peaceful state of mind. You can imagine. Yeah, so Buddha says that's the highest blessing one can gain. To be able to face the vicissitudes of life and not to shake, and to live with a peaceful heart, not shaking for anything. So that's the highest blessing. So Buddha is teaching how to actually actualize that. This is like a roadmap, how to get there. And when you start practicing, you will realize you need help, you need to know the techniques, and you do need to have the proper environment then to support you. Remember, even when it comes to the practice, this matters to you all. Patirupa Desavasocha, you must have the proper environment, even for the practice. So everything becomes relative even in this journey. So this sutta, you can look at it, apply it to the external world and see it like that, and also you can take it deeper now, you can apply it to your own mind and look at it from that angle too. Asevanacha balanam, don't associate with the bala thoughts in your mind, all the negative and unwholesome thoughts in your mind. Because all the time you can't keep externalizing things, because the most damage is done by the things that's going on in here. So you can understand this sutta in relation to your own mind, how it works too. Yeah. So chant some sutra like that in the morning. This is good. The Ratana Sutra, Karaniya Matta Sutra. Then that will help you all to remember what you should be doing, especially this one. So Buddha starts this path with avoiding the association with the foolish. So in your society, who you associate with, you must check who is your friends, who your associates are, what are they doing, what kind of advice you are getting. Now for some of you, even to come to the retreat, you might be getting advice, oh, why you want to go to a retreat, what for, haven't you got anything else to do? If 10 people keep saying like that, it does have an influence. If you are not very strong, you might start looking at it, yes, what for? Like that. So this is why very important. So you adjust yourselves, adjust your company, and if you really can't find virtuous people to associate with, Pandita, then Buddha says in another sutta, better to be alone. You practice, you cultivate by yourself. Less harm and damage and less unhappiness and suffering comes on your way. Huh? What is that? Yes, you have a teacher, you go to the temple, and most of the time if you come to a place like that, you will find the like-minded people if you really want to associate. But you have to understand, when you're walking on this path, you're training to renounce. So you have given up the attachments to all the other side, and then also we can't get attached. While you're looking for companies, we are kind of, what you call communal creatures. There's animals also, that they live in packs. Human beings also like that. They like to live in the packs. But more you develop your mind, you realize no need to have a pack. Why you have a pack is because you feel so insecure for your security. You want the others to be around you, to comfort you, for your happiness and peace. But you will realize more we have the wrong kind of people around you, that works the opposite way. So it's best to be alone and do it. But anyway, we are trying to get to that point. And when you practice and develop your goodness and wisdom, you don't need others to protect you or make you feel secure. You can look after yourself, and that's the final bit. You are the only one who can help yourself at the end. Yeah? So look into the your company, who you're associating and all that. And also after you have practiced, do that chanting, Imina Punya Kammena. It's in this book, The Aspiration, because it's very important for you all. Your whole life actually depends on which direction you go according to who you associate with. So you must have that aspiration. On this book, page number 173, Imina Punya Kammena Mame Bala Samagamo. Satan Samagamo Huntu Yava Nibbana Patya. So by the grace of this merit that I have acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise, until the time I attain final goal, Nibbana. That's a very important one to keep telling yourself. So you will know to avoid when it's necessary, and you will find the strength to do that. And also there is another aspiration there, Idam me punyang asavakya vahan hotu. To remind yourself, may all these merits help me to bring all the defilements to an end, to remove all the defilements, to attain Nibbana. So start the day like that, so then you know actually you are kind of setting your mind in a certain direction. So throughout the day that program will work. If you have done the program in the proper way, the program will work. Mind is like that. You can program your mind. And try to spend the day mindfully. You won't be able to practice to the level that you did it in here, but at least try to practice as and when you can. And sometimes what I tell people is, if you're working in office, you have a computer or something, at least put a note there. Every hour when you see here the clock, or when you see it's a full hour, then sit down, take a couple of deep breaths, relax and ground yourself in the present moment. So at least every hour you are coming back to the present moment. You will find at the beginning when you leave here, your mindfulness will be there. You can focus on the breath and like that. But slowly it will start to wane. So this is why it's very good for you all to attend retreats regularly. So when the battery is discharging slowly, again you come to retreat, again it will charge. Like that, you can do that. No, in between, this is what I'm saying, in between you must spend 1 or 2 hours, wake up at 4 o'clock. Don't be lazy. Laziness is not a thing that's going to help you in this path. Remember, in many suttas, Buddha is talking about not to be lazy, not to be indolent, not to indulge in sleep. It's bad as you having sensual thoughts and all that, to indulge in the sleep, it's very bad. You must do it with the understanding that you're only going there to rest. There is, Ajahn Brahm says, there is 3 things that men or women or men or any human being will not get enough. Do you know? Food, sleep, no. Yeah, sex. Food, sex and sleep. You will never get enough. So you all have to be in control of them. You must understand why you are doing it, and then with the understanding when you do it, you can control them and you will know why you are eating, why you are sleeping. So you must be the master, not the slave to them. Yeah? So don't be lazy and sleep until 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Wake up at 4. You practice, do your yoga and then practice, so it will take nearly 2 hours for you. And at night, if you're not watching the TV, you come home, you get done whatever you have to do, and then have something light to eat, and then go to bed early. You can wake up at 4. The other thing, yes, look into your lifestyle and your food. If you really want to seriously practice this path, look into your lifestyle, what you're doing, and your food. That does have an effect to some extent. Food, actually we don't need so much food. Why we being consuming so much food is because we like it, to the taste. Nowadays, people don't eat to live, they actually live to eat. So you must reverse that. You must, you have your goal now to be free from suffering, to attain Nibbana. And until you get there, you just want to support this life, keep this body alive. That's not yours anyway. When if you realize that, the big part of the problem will go away. So all you have to do is keep this vehicle alive and keep it in a healthy condition. That's why you are eating in the proper way. So the best way to eat is actually in the morning, and during the noon time you eat something. And also there is a thing that after the noon the enzymes doesn't work properly apparently. So your digestion is not that good at night. So that's why even the doctors are saying, at night you must eat only very light something little and very light. So get into that habit. Maybe go to a soup or to a jelly or to have a cup of milk and do it, because you're working, you need energy, so have something but light. But you will find nowadays, all these days you didn't eat anything, right? But did you feel how light you were when you wake up the next day morning? Very light. Very light. So if you want to destroy that happiness, that comfort, so if you feel, if you want to kind of bring some unhappiness or some discomfort, then you can keep eating at night. But if you want to have a higher kind of happiness and a comfort, try to reduce eating at night and cut it off. Just go with liquid, fruit juice or soup or jelly or something. That's okay as long as it's light. And also with your food, just look into what you're eating. Because if you're eating things out of desire because you want to satisfy your taste buds, that's not going to help your practice. And especially because when you're trying to satisfy your taste buds, if you're bringing some unhappiness and suffering to others, that's going to have an effect on your practice. More you develop your loving kindness, compassion, you will start to realize that why we put a lot of these innocent beings to suffer and to go through a lot of cruelty just because we want to satisfy our taste buds. Today it's not like those days. That's these animals just being raised at home and you just kill it here and there. They had a good life, and at the end of the life when they are old, if they die or people kill and eat. But it's not the same with today. The farming is very cruel. How they treat the animals, how they kill. There's a lot of cruelty going on, and we know no one likes to die. That's what it is, yeah? No one likes to die. Everyone is trying to avoid death. You are doing it, and everyone else is also doing it. So why we should be the cause for someone's life to be shortened, or for another being to go through cruelty and a lot of unhappiness and suffering. So think about what you're eating, because it does have an effect. When you develop a lot of metta, a lot of compassion, the heart will start to speak. How can I develop metta when I'm actually causing someone to go and do this job, to kill these innocent living beings, to bring it to my table? So think about that, what you eat and all that. And also, in the other way, if you are eating a vegetarian diet, it's very healthy. When you eat meat, actually it's not that healthy at all. Because now you know when you have emotions, there's a lot of hormones going into your bloodstream, right? When you have fear, anger, a lot of adrenaline goes to your bloodstream. And adrenaline is not a good hormone. It has a lot of chemicals, very poisonous chemicals. So when these animals get killed, they know they are going to get killed. So they get a lot of fear, anger, fear, whatever that comes, and it's all in their blood. All these chemicals, hormones in their blood. And to top it up, nowadays people give growth hormone and this and that to make them bigger quickly. So all these, when you eat, it's going to affect your health. And so try to avoid it, so it will benefit your health, and at the same time it will help you all to live a pure life with a clear conscience that you even haven't hurt or harm or damage any living being, and at the same time you haven't been the cause for the others to do it for you. Because a lot of people think it's okay, it's out there already, so I'm only buying it what's out there. But to whom they keep it out there? Because of who they kill these animals? For the people who buy it. So they are doing it for you. See, in a village they have these abattoirs where they kill, and they have these slaughterhouses, and they actually sell the meat just right in front of those places, just under a shade. So if one or two people stop eating meat, then they have to kill less animals. And then influenced by that, if couple of families stop eating meat, of course that trade will affect. They will have to kill less and less animals because there's no demand. So this all based on supply and demand. When there's a demand, the supply is there. So who's creating the demand? The people who buy it. So people say, you bring the rational excuses to justify your emotional urges that say, oh, we are not contributing anything to it. Of course, you just can't say that, because you are contributing it. They are killing for the people who are buying it, who are creating the demand. So you are actually anumodam. Anumodam means you are being part of that karma. He didn't say, okay, what he said is, if you haven't seen that's being killed, if you haven't heard that being killed for you, and you shouldn't even suspect that's being killed for you. Even if there's a suspicion that that's being killed for you, then that becomes something that you shouldn't be consuming. So now, in rationally, okay, they do the killing in the abattoirs, okay, you don't see it, you don't hear that, they don't say they kill for you. But doesn't your heart tells you it's actually they kill for the people who buy it? It's not for the vegetarian people they kill it. They kill it for the people who buy it. So when your conscience starts to talk, it will talk. Only when your emotions are strong, you will have the rational thinking mind working to support the emotion. But when you start to wake up, your conscience will stop and show you how you're being part of it. When you all offer the Buddha puja or the flowers, have you seen it's one person bring them, but they let others actually touch it? And what they are saying is, be part of this, rejoice in these merits. You rejoice in it just by touching it and seeing what they are doing. So you're doing the same thing with the kind of the negative act that these people are doing. Being part of it, you anumodana by paying the money. You encourage them. You actually cause them to keep on doing that job. You are the ones who are creating it, that demand. You are not out of that chain. See, in the Dhamma, Buddha says in our Vinaya, for the Sangha, for the Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, we can accept anything into our alms bowl. Whether it's meat, fish, rice, whatever people offer, we can accept. But if someone offers you meat and says, "Oh Venerable, sadhu sadhu, I prepared this for you. I just specially prepared and killed this chicken and prepared it for you." You can't take it. You have to close your hand. You are not allowed to accept that food. And if then again you hear someone saying, if you see it's being killed for you, again you have to avoid it or refuse it, reject it. And if you suspect even that this is being specially prepared for me, you have to refuse it. See how Buddha, how he is telling us to be so careful to protect your, heart, your conscience. Even if you suspect, they don't tell you, but you suspect, I think they have prepared this for me. You are not to do it, because the minute you accept it, you become part of that akusala karma chain. You also have to bear that. So in all cost, avoid, abstain from all evil, all these unwholesome things. Don't be part of, now when someone does good thing, you are saying sadhu sadhu, you feel happy, you are part of it. Someone does bad thing and you just saying, that's good. You are going to be part of that akusala karma. So this is why I am saying people like to bring lot of rational reasons, but it's backed by the emotions, moved by the emotions. Because you can't give up, let go, because you like the taste and the texture. So you keep saying, it's okay, they didn't kill for me. Of course they kill for the people who buy it. And that's your anumodana. And Buddha had explained, there must be, one must not find a living by using this 5 kind of livelihood. What are they? Not to trade slaves, the human beings, not to trade animals or the flesh, not to trade weapons, not to trade poison, not to trade alcohol. You can see in all these 5, someone is getting hurt and harmed, and there's some damage going on here. So trade means there's 2 sides to it. One person can't do trading. Someone has to come and buy it, create the demand. So Buddha says, don't, trade in this. So anyway, even if you are not doing it, if you are actually buying or paying someone to do that kind of a job, you are actually being part of it and you are encouraging that person. See, in Australia, there is lot of the second-hand goods that goes around. People sell lot of the second-hand things. I think in most of the Western countries it's like that. But when they come and sell something, if you suspect, if they tell you, or even if you suspect that these goods are stolen goods, you are prohibited by the law to buy that. You are to complain, you are to make the police aware of what's going on. That's your duty to do. So it's very easy, it's cheap, they are selling it very cheap, very good for you to buy. But it's prohibited, because if you do that, you are encouraging that person to do it over and over and over again. So by law, you can't buy it. If the police finds actually you have bought these stolen goods, you also have to go to courts. We don't buy, and well, then you don't buy. That's all. You don't buy. And you can see how that connection there, this is what I was trying to say. So if someone is doing something wrong, our duty should be to not to encourage it, but to actually help them to get out from that. So if you are going to help someone and you encourage, you pay them to keep on doing and killing these innocent animals, you are of course being in part of that. No way out. There's no way you are going to giving all this and that. Because you are there and you are encouraging someone to be in a profession that actually Buddha had asked not to. You think very nicely, oh no, because they kill and even if I don't buy, others will buy. Never mind, let that be. You don't be part of that akusala karma chain. Live with a pure heart. So think about it. Actually, why this topic came to me is Sister Bodhi gave me some stickers to give you all. And I thought, okay, I must actually address this. Not that because I'm a vegetarian, not that I advocate that, but if you are a serious practitioner, this is something for you all to think. And it should come from your heart, not because I said, not because Buddha said, it should come from your understanding. Any more excuses that you think that can be justified on the meat eating?
You say 1 kilo of the cow meat will cost 1 year the water will take.
Yeah.
We have to use.
See, now what people are mixing up some teachings. You see, Buddha specifically gives specific teachings to the lay people, seeing their level. And he gives specific teachings for the monks and nuns. And the teachings that he gives to the monks and nuns, you can't compare it with this lay life. And what Buddha gives the advice to these lay people, you can't bring it and try to match it to the Sangha. They are like apples and oranges. These people are actually living in a way in the sensual desires, and you actually are walking in a path where you develop more and more and more tanha. But these renunciants are actually working on getting rid of the tanha, getting rid of the emotions. They are not chasing their desires. So two different lifestyles. You also training. Then you must apply the rules for the monks and nuns then. You try that. So what Buddha was teaching to the monks and nuns, we can accept any food, but if you see it's being killed for you, if you hear that it's being killed for you, if you even have the slightest doubt that it's being killed for you, you must not take it. There you can see, those days when monks and nuns went on Pindapat, a lot of the time it was the leftover food that people gave. Because it was spontaneous when they went on Pindapat, the house owners a lot of the time don't know. So when they see a monk standing, whatever they have cooked, they offer. It's not specially made for them. So for us it's okay to, if they give dog meat or whatever, dog meat is prohibited, whatever the meat they offer, if it's okay, we can take it, because we are not being part of that akusala karma, as long as it's not being prepared for us. But for you all, if the butcher comes and puts that meat into your bag and says, it's okay, you take it, that's a different story. They don't give it like that. You have to pay and buy it. That's a difference.
Monks and nuns must be careful. Check whether it's stale food. Check whether it's stale.
Stale or not. Those days actually monks, I think their mind was very highly developed. They didn't care much about the food. Because they had to survive. All vegetarians. How do you find it? Is it difficult to be a vegetarian? Well fed. If you actually know how to cook a balanced meal, vegetarian is the best way to actually support your life. Very healthy, and if you balance the nutritions, it's okay. It's just the myth that people say, oh, if you become a vegetarian, there's not going to be enough protein, not enough iron and all that. No, the key point is balance. See, even the non-vegetarians, the people who eat meat, sometimes their iron levels are deficient. Their iron levels have gone down. Then what does the doctor say? Oh, you must eat a lot of green. You are not eating enough green. Yes, this is what happens. So where's the logic? If a vegetarian goes and they say, their iron levels are down, they say, oh, you must eat red meat. There's no logic in this. So what you have to do is find a balanced diet. and then you'll be okay. And know how to cook, it's okay. And anyway, you all, now if you really seriously want to practice, you shouldn't be a slave to your tongue anyway. You should be only feeding with that understanding. I'm taking food just to support my life, not to indulge. So that will have a big effect on you. And it will have a big effect on these innocent animals, the cruelty, because more people become vegetarian. Well, these people have to keep shutting down the animal farms and these abattoirs, isn't it? Because not many people buy it like before. So they have to find a different kind of a profession, maybe go and do some farming, vegetable farming, or go and do something else. They keep doing that job because we create a demand. So think about that. What else? So, and the other thing, I think it was very clear to you all that purification of mind is not just to do while you're sitting. Because a lot of people believe when they come here that they should do their meditation while they are sitting. No, what Buddha says, I showed you in the suttas, very clearly he says, while you're walking, while you're standing, while you're sitting, while you're lying down, you must continue your practice, keeping your mind pure, in all postures.
Even now,
Huh?
even now we can do meditation.
Can, yes, that's what I'm saying. So whatever the posture your body is in, it's regardless. What your focus must be in your mind. Purifying your mind, keeping your mind pure. And so if you have to work, sometimes you feel like, if you don't have time to meditate, and then people keep asking you to do work, and you can get irritated. Why I'm doing this? I even don't have time to meditate and all that. Then remember, the minute that thought comes, you're actually going far away from the meditation. The work is not the problem. If you are being asked to do some hard work or work due to some bad akusala karma, let's think it that way, and then you must do it happily. Okay, let me practice the selflessness. Let me do some service. Let me think as if I'm doing some service to the others. So may the others benefit. So another person can't do it, that's why they have asked me. So may I be the one to help them out. May everyone be well and happy, like that. Think good thoughts, positive thoughts, metta, and do whatever you have to do. Actually, then that's a practice for you. That's your meditation. Even though you didn't get a chance to sit and do it, you're doing it. This is how you have to be wise enough to turn around every situation that comes on your way and use it to practice, to purify your mind. It's not the work that stresses you, it's the negative thoughts that bring stress. Remember that. Stress is not coming from outside. It's your own reaction in the mind. So like I said to you, if you get into that habit, may all beings be well and happy, be well and happy, a chant like that all the time, repeat, 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 it will make your life much easier, less friction. So all the time try to be selfless. Be there for the others, not being selfish about me and myself. No, you just be selfless. That's a good way, when you do service, that's a good way to practice selflessness. So, if you can come and volunteer here or even the other places where they are providing a lot of service to the others, and be generous with your time, with your energy, with your effort, not only the money and the clothes and the food. These days people are more stingy with time. So you must learn to let go of your time to do service to the others. Your energy, your effort, your ability to think and create things, your mind, then your money, your clothes, your food, whatever you can share, whatever you have, learn to share with others. Learn to let go. That's a must in the path. Dana is a must. Practice in generosity. Yeah? So in life, when you become nice and humble and very generous, people will come to you to ask for help. So don't think now you're getting used. People say, now I'm being used, these people come for anything and everything to me. I even have give this, they want more. Don't think negatively. If you think negatively, ill will develop and it won't help you in your path. Why people come and ask you help is because they know you are always there, that you are capable of helping them. So you also take it as an opportunity to help another person. Practice generosity. See, Buddha, when he was perfecting his paramis, the first one to start, it was the dana parami, the letting go, being generous. And if you read the Jataka stories, you can see how he perfected it from doing little kind acts and all this and that, and finally he managed to come to the level where he can even let go of his own children, his wife, he can generously donate, and also his life. One time, there was that he was a king, and apparently in that kingdom they had this white elephant, and they believe, that's another belief, that if you have a white elephant, it's an auspicious sign, it's a blessing to that kingdom. And so he heard the king in another country was actually planning to attack, to take this kingdom over with the elephant. So this king actually, Bodhicitta, sent a message saying, no need to fight, you can have it. So he actually gave it away with the kingdom. And he went, he renounced, he said, aho sukha. What a great pleasure to let go. What a great pleasure. Someone is interested in this country, I'm sure they will look after it because they had an interest now. Well, you have it, and he left with his wife and children. And then after that, what happened, there was this old man come to him and asked for help. So he did help, and at the end again this old man comes and says, can I actually have your children, because I'm so old, I can't work, I need someone to look after me, can I have your children and your wife? And then Buddha calls the children, would you like to go with this man, help him out, the wife also? Then as long as they are okay, he said, okay, you can have them. He didn't say, you're using me, you're trying to even squeeze everything out of me. How dare you to ask my children and wife? He didn't say that. He took that as an opportunity to practice his generosity. See, you must learn the ways to look at things in different perspectives, using the wholesome thoughts, not the negative thoughts. In the society, you will always find the negative way of looking at things. This is why you need to be along with the Kalyana Mittas, because they will show you the right way to think. And then there was a time even Bodhisattva offered his life to save another beings. Not only he kept practicing donating his organs, at the end the life too. So this is how we must practice to that extent. I'm sure we are not near there, but it's something for you all to keep in your mind. So when someone comes and asks for help, or you see a need there and you can do something, don't wait for the others to ask. Make a change.
Things like the Jatakas,
They are in Jatakas.
are they true?
Lot of them, the Buddha is trying to explain how he perfected his paramis. Behind the stories, always there is a moral.
These Jataka stories are written. When was it written?
They are written late, but some of them in the suttas, Buddha talks about his past lives. But they are all being put together. I'm sure there is some glamorizing, no doubt. But you go to the moral of the story, there is a point that the story is trying to say. So you take that point. Yes?
But in this degraded time, there's, I'm sure you know what I'm trying to get at. If we simply do charity, there's this thing called idiot compassion.
Advice.
When
Okay.
I specifically have very negative feeling towards those bogus monks that stand, go to coffee shop, so sometimes, number one, why I have that feeling is that they are giving disrepute to Buddhism, to the Sangha especially. Then at the same time, he is causing me a lot of this ill will.
He is not causing you, you are causing it to yourself.
Okay. But then, but he is never mind that.
So what you have to do is...
I'm in a confused state whether I should give. Normally I see a beggar, a genuine case, only too happy to give.
Well, you treat them as a beggar and give them food. You ask him, what do you need? Tea, coffee, bun or lunch? You offer that. Don't offer money. Look at it as a human being who is struggling to suffer. So they are even taking the robes to do that, to cheat others. But the thing is, it's another human being. And they will acquire the results of that karma. What they are doing, the damage, they will have to bear that. And so I actually feel very sorry for them. So you help them also with the food or whatever, and sometimes you can even have a good chat to them and talk Dhamma and ask, do you know what is going to come back on your way? How you are going to bear then? You may not even get a human life for damaging.
Richer than us, a lot of these beggars, they are actually they are richer than us. They have a lot of money.
So don't feel jealous. Be happy.
We don't want to encourage them. There are a lot of people. These are monks. Those people. They are.
But we can't stop all these things. What's going in the world? We have a limited capacity to have influence, control. Like I said. So know that limit. Do whatever you can do, the rest leave. Yes, the Buddha had advice when you are being generous, go along with your wisdom. So you must know actually where to invest your things in a more beneficial way. There are certain things when you do, it's more beneficial. So Buddha actually always points out it's to do with the Sangha, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, because that's what brings the most benefit to the world. That's
these days, if someone does what Buddha did by giving away the wife and children, the whole world will turn against him.
Well, even in Buddha's time he did. Even the final life when he became the Buddha, he left his wife and child and did. Yasodhara's whole family turned against him. And it's not only this time, it happened even that time. That's natural for human beings to react like that because they don't see far. They don't see why they are doing it, how it's going to benefit. So this is why I said we don't think far.
These monks, they go in the park. They only allowed to do it in the morning. But now the monks are doing it day and night time.
Night time also.
Yeah.
So the people might be educated. I mean, if it's a Buddhist, they should know it's not monks because they are not doing it at night. So we shouldn't take too much time because we can't solve it here. If you really want to solve, all you have to do, arrange Pindapat with the real monks from these temples in those cities where you see the bogus monk, and the people will get used to who are the real monks, the rules and the regulations of the code of ethic of the monk. Then the people will not give. When people don't give, those monks will not go begging. That's how you do something constructive. No point we talking about it and having ill will. If you want help, if you want to do something, you do something positively. Make people's awareness. Make them aware about what's happening. That's all. And what else? The path of purification. That book that I was talking about, I couldn't get hold of it, but I hope if you are interested, get hold of that book. Blue color hard cover, and it's called The Path of Purification. That's written by the Buddha Gosa. And have a look at what I said. Maybe after this, I think Saturday actually library is open. Maybe after we finish this, we can go upstairs and have a look. Can someone actually just go upstairs and see whether the library is open? If it's open, you let me know, so I'll go and pick it up. No, one girl is going, that's enough. And some of you actually requested if you could have the CD for this retreat with the yoga, and some of you were interested in the teaching and all that. So I have the recording, but the thing is we need to find someone to burn 21 copies. Who can do that? Because last time Brother Bilitan was compassionate enough to do it. He did it, and because he was a participant in the retreat, and he actually kept the CDs in the office, so when people come they could pick it up. So this time I guess one of you all have to be the one, or you can request the office to do it for you all. Anyone who can do it? You can find someone to help you all also. Can, huh? Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. What you can do, you can get or ask help from Brother Bilitan or Brother Sumana Hilson, who comes in Sutta class. They are good at this thing. So you can check with them. Maybe Brother Bilitan has equipment where he can burn many at once. I'm not too sure. You can check with them, but I can give you the all the teachings in one, and then you can make it available through the office. You all just ring the office and find out whether the CDs are there, and come and pick it up. So how many the retreat is? 21, no? I think it was only 21 we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19, 20. For you, you are leaving, no? Maybe I'll also try to put it on the web. I'll give you my website. Can someone, I'll write it down. So maybe it's not right now, but one day it will be there soon. Huh? So you can write to me. Here we go. Yes.
Mister, what's the difference
You
between
can see, on this
Visuddhimagga and
book,
Vimutttimagga?
Vimutttimagga you can't find anymore. It's only in the historical things. It may be preserved, but I never heard that book is there to read. There. Yes, it's being preserved. There you go. Vimutttimagga. But, yes, this is the old one. Translated from Chinese. Because it was a Mahayana one. Remember I told you? It was the Mahayana from China. Chinese.
In Japan, the monk from Sri Lanka went to Japan.
And they did it.
Saw the thing there.
Okay.
Got it translated.
Right. There you go. Because in Sri Lanka everything was destroyed after he wrote this one. So it's good. There's a preserved one there. I even haven't seen it. Now I see it. Okay. So the book is the path of purification. After this you all can take time to read. This is the forward note and it clearly says this encyclopedic work on Theravada Buddhism, The Path of Purification, was written by the Arahat Buddha goes, it says, and then you go to page number, yes, LK, Sri Lanka, it's LK, oh yes, RR, yes, Nisala Arana, yes, LK. Okay, let me see the conclusion. So I'll tell you the page number, you all can read afterwards. Here, you go to the pages. There the conclusion is there on page number 837. You can read it from there, 836, 837, and I'll read you only the interesting bit, but you must read whole conclusion. That's all interesting, but this is the most important part. By the performance of such merit, by writing this book, as has been gained by me through this and any other still in hand, so may I in my next becoming behold the joys of Tavatimsa, glad in the qualities of virtue and unattached to sense desires, by having reached the first fusion and having in my last life seen Maitreya, Lord of Sages, happiest of persons in the world and helper, delighting in all beings' welfare, and heard that Holy One proclaim the teaching of the Noble Law, may I grace the victor's dispensation by realizing its highest fruit. There you go. That's the Arahat's wish. So you can read it for yourself and see, it's on the page number 836. From there the conclusion is there. So he is the one actually put into the minds of people that this Gautama Buddha's Dhamma, our Buddha's Dhamma may not work for you to get enlightened, so you must wait for the Maitreya Buddha to come to teach the Dhamma to get enlightened.
One simple thing. If this thing that they write can bring a person to Nibbana, he should have already been, because he is the one who authored the thing.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. So it's not correct. A lot of the teachings in this book is not correct. Okay, so by the way, that's there, so you can take care of that. And probably that's all the advice that I kind of wanted to give you all about, how to manage your lay life. A lot of people are asking. Any other question that I didn't answer that you all wanted to know? How to continue when you go back? That was your question. So these are few instructions and advices, suggestions.